Good afternoon and welcome to, depending on when you see this, to the latest edition of the Starkville Daily News SDN Sports Seen. I'm sports editor Danny P. Smith, and Robbie Faulk's our high school beat writer, and there's no more fun time to be a high school beat writer than covering state championship football. And we've got a couple of teams, one in our Daily Times leader coverage area with West Point, and Choctaw was able to defeat East Webster and punch their ticket to the 3A state championship game. So I know you're excited about catching both of those those games this weekend.
It's going to be fun, and I'll get a chance to see Louisville play on Friday too. Yeah. Louisville's back trying to go through a three-peat. Obviously not the Starkville Daily News area, but I do cover them for Winston County Journal, and then we have West Point for the 9th straight year, and that is just, I mean, I think I've got a chance to cover them every year, but maybe once. I think maybe 2016 I might not have been able to, but just one of the greatest runs we've ever seen to go to 9 straight, and they got a good shot in this game in the first season under Brett Morgan, which is just an amazing job by him.
Yeah.
And it really just shows the consistency that they've kind of built that program to be able to change coaches the way that they have. A legendary coach who had been there this entire stretch with Coach Chambliss to come in. Brett Morgan had like a rocky start. They had to go up against Starkville, Louisville, West Point, Noxubee, and kind of navigate that. They never panicked, and that's just what they do, and they're right back in position of the run that they always seem to make.
Yeah, and it couldn't happen to a better guy if he's able to get it done. Brett Morgan's a solid guy. I've known him for a while, since his playing days out at Mississippi State, and it's just just a real solid guy. Not going to be easy against Gaucher. I think they've got the 3A Player of the Year at quarterback, and I think they have a defensive player that may have signed with Southern Miss today or something like that. So they've got some talent down there. Gaucher's about as on the coast as you can be.
Yep.
They're right there at the water. So, but it should be interesting there. And Choctaw County, we've followed their progress all year, and what a run they've made too after losing that first game. Winning every game since then, several running clocks, and beat a very good East Webster team twice.
Yep, 13 straight wins since that Park Lane game that started off the year, and I felt like that game was. They obviously would have liked to have just won that and learned from it, but to be able to lose that game and not want to experience that again has been the key. And I think they've kind of drawn on that game, and they've drawn on the end of the season last year when they lost that ball game against Mandelsey and the way that they lost it.
Right.
Since that time, I mean, this team has been truly determined to go win a state championship. And, I talked to Caleb Cunningham today at his signing. I talked to Dylan Mitchell as well, and it's just a team that they smell it. They can sense that the opportunity is there for them to make history. And one of the real talking points has been this is an opportunity, if it hadn't happened already, to bring Ware and Ackerman together. And that's a very tight-knit community, and I think that it's already it's worked in that direction anyway. I think people have kind of started to move in that direction where everybody's pulling for Choctaw County. But I think this is a chance to once and for all say there is no more Ware, there is no more Ackerman, it's Choctaw County. And this is their opportunity on Thursday to come out in that ball game and to hoist a trophy for Choctaw County. Because Ware's had, I think, 6 state championships, and Ackerman's had 2. And the tradition was so rich at both those schools, even when they weren't winning state titles. The pride in those 2 schools is still so strong. I still hear comments from people, to this day that want to separate Ware and Ackerman. This is a chance for Choctaw County to be Choctaw County,
right,
and for them to hoist a trophy. And that's something that I remember it. I was there on day 1 for Dylan Mitchell when he took that job. I was in the school district building there when he was announced as head coach, and I talked to him that day, and the first thing he brought up was, Ware's had great tradition, Ackerman's had great tradition. It's time for Choctaw County to bring home a trophy for them. Yeah. And that's kind of what he had talked about in his preview on Thursday that fans can pick up is, this is a big opportunity for them to to get one for Choctaw County.
Yeah, and it would be big, like you say, big for that county if they're ever able to pull it off. Dynamic team, Jeremiah Miller running back, and of course Caleb Cunningham, wide receiver, quarterback. KJ Cork is very good, but on the other side you've got Kamario Taylor and his rough bunch at Knoxville County. They're gonna bring it, and they're looking to break through as well. They haven't really done it yet.
Yeah, if you look back at Knoxville County, this is a program that really got going under Tyrone Shorter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you go back to the days where Chris Jones was there, the head coach at Starkville, when he was playing defensive back,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have these kind of seasons. That they had their struggles, and MC Miller kind of turned it around. He got a state championship, and they always seemed to be in the mix. And when he left for Louisville and Tyrone Shorter took over, they just hit a new level. And I think they won 4 or 5 state championships. I think maybe 4 under Tyrone Shorter, and this is a little different kind of Noxubee program under Teddy Young, but they're finding ways to still get to that state championship game. And they're going to be a little more offensive than they were under Tyrone Shorter. That was a team and a program that was just entrenched in defense and one of the best defensive programs in the state of Mississippi year in and year out.
Right.
This team can still play some defense, but they've kind of made their mark under Teddy Young on the offensive side of the ball. And specifically last 3 years, it's been Kamario Taylor. And what he's done this year has just been unreal, because this is a team that had to replace a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. Most of the receivers are new, some new offensive linemen, defense, same thing. They've replaced it the best they can, but Kamario Taylor's carried that team, and he is going to be a very difficult out. And you can't count out the fact that this team's been to I think 4 or 5 state championships in a row. So it's going to be a tough task, but if there's a team in the state in 3A that can do it, this is a team that can do it, because Choctaw County's got pieces on both sides.
Yeah, and they both have to travel to Hattiesburg, which is about the same distance for both teams, really. So no really advantage there one way or the other. But should be an interesting game Thursday afternoon at 4, and then of course West Point has the 7:30 game on Friday night. So they'll be under the Friday night lights one more time to see if they can get their state championship done. We could spend a little time talking about signing day. I think we may leave that subject for a later time, because there's still some stuff going on even as we speak. So,
yeah.
And the transfer portal's fixing to open up too. So there'll be plenty of time to go over some of that. But we'll just leave it with high school football championship weekend coming up, and it's going to be an exciting time. And Robbie's going to be heading down to Hattiesburg, I guess, in the morning maybe?
Yep, and I do want to give a quick plug. A lot of people can't watch this game on TV, and it's become really difficult to keep up these games. It used to be really easy.
Yeah.
But if you're in the area, I will be calling the game on Thursday with Knoxville and Choctaw County on 107.1, the Refuge in Louisville.
Okay.
So if you'd like to pop that on, do it. If I hurt your ears, then feel free to turn it down. But I'll be on there probably around 3:45 or so. We'll have a pregame, things like that. So we will have you covered with the radio broadcast, and then of course we'll have the game story in the paper on Friday too.
Yeah, and even though Louisville's not in our readership area, we don't sell papers in Winston County, it's still nice to see teams from this area doing well and building this tradition that seems to keep following these teams like Louisville and West Point and Knoxville County. Even it's not that far away, and Choctaw County is trying to join that club. So we'll see what happens there, and we'll be here to report on it for you until next week, and we'll talk some more football, maybe some signing day, and basketball's not waiting either. So we'll dive into all that later, but